welcome to the first spoiler alert of 2013. This week, Matt Mitovich and I are going to toast the return of Cougar Town. You guys ready for another 4 bottles? Answer some reader questions about Scandal, Once Upon a Time, and Bones.
Is that a big deal?
And preview the series finales of Fringe and Private Practice. Welcome, Matt.
Welcome. We have a full slate today.
We have a full slate and 2 full glasses of wine. In honor of Cougar Town's return to TBS, it felt only appropriate.
White wine? What is this, a baby shower?
This is the finest Sauvignon Blanc of the Napa Valley. So we've seen the first couple episodes. I've seen the first, you've seen a couple beyond that. It's the same show, which is the good news.
Exactly. Same funny title cards and everything.
And it picked up pretty much right where it left off a couple days after Jules and Grayson's wedding.
Yeah.
But there was a very funny in-joke that it kicks off with where they sort of reference the fact that the show was on the bubble. And I think Jules makes a crack about, I never thought we'd see this kitchen again.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been away for a year.
Yeah, and they keep going at that joke for like a couple beats. It's,
Right.
It's really funny.
And a solid premiere. Some really funny stuff about Jules and Grayson sort of adjusting to the
married
first
life.
days of
Yeah.
married life. I was also encouraged to see that they're not shying away from the Travis and Lori sort of flirtation.
Yeah, they picked up that thread. I wasn't sure.
Oh no, what are we doing?
And I'd almost forgot about how last season ended
Right.
with, her learning that, he's been carrying this massive
big
torch for
confession.
her.
Yeah.
They picked that up and it's really sweet and it continues on for episodes to come.
Well, maybe it's fate.
There was an episode that you are really fond of that's coming
there's
up
one,
around February.
I think it's in the middle of February, and it's laden with flashbacks to when Jules first met Ellie, to when Bobby first met...
Flashbacks is like recreated.
Oh yeah, recreated
okay.
stuff. Because the whole theme is about meet cutes, who has the best meet cute. And it all comes back to the fact that Jules and Grayson feel that they never really had a great first meet cute, but as you see at the very end, they actually did. You also get the very first instance of Penny Can. Penny Can! Which was called something different at the time.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's a lot of fun.
Have you noticed, because I didn't really pick up anything like this in the premiere, but in the other episodes, that they're taking more leeway for being on cable?
Seems a little naughtier.
Okay.
Like this whole thing with something that Andy did to Ellie while she was sleeping.
Right, which is hilarious.
And then a couple episodes down the line, there's another kind of like naughtyish thing. So
Okay.
I don't know, but it wasn't like jumping out at me. It really felt like the same funny Cougar Town.
Moving on from Cougar Town, we have some reader questions.
Indeed we do.
First one, Scandal.
Okay.
This is from Kate. If and when Fitz wakes up, will he remember his love for Olivia?
That is a very good
So
question.
the amnesia card.
Yeah, and that's a big plot point during the first episode back. Fitz's pretty darn grave condition. Obviously we're not going to reveal if and when he wakes up and what it's like. I will say that at the point in time in the future that he does regain consciousness, that the question of his mental stability is addressed pretty quickly. But the next new episode, it's very interesting. There's some really cool stuff. There's almost like an Ocean's 11 theme, I felt, because you've got Olivia and Cyrus and Quinn and everybody kind of all coordinating, and Mellie all coordinating on this sort of caper type of thing. So it's a fun episode. You see Becky again. You learn what Becky's real name is. Quinn wants answers
Who set me up?
on who she was and why her identity got changed, and she's on the verge of getting them.
And the caper, is that part of the sort of the mythology central storyline?
The
or
caper, it's in keeping with the whole kind of stealing the White House theme that's going on with Sally Langston kind of like, trying to take charge and Mellie and Olivia not having any of it. So it's interesting.
Excellent, okay.
I got a question for you about Bones from Cassidy. She wants to know, is there anything cool coming up on Bones in 2013?
Well, if you're a Sweets fan,
Yes! Score.
this qualifies as pretty good. We're going to get an episode that looks back at his childhood, and I know a lot of fans have been wanting that. There's a case that involves a rape of a young girl, and him being a psychologist, he's very involved in that, and through that, it sort of reawakens some memories from his childhood.
Okay. You have one more for me?
Once upon a time, Zoe asks, will Henry's father come back, and will we see more Emma flashbacks?
All right, that's kind of like a 2-for-1 that kind of falls in the same theme, because there is an episode coming up called Manhattan, which I have to imagine is the episode that Michael Raymond James returns as Neil Cassidy, since we saw his character in Manhattan in the season premiere. I did check in with Adam Horowitz on whether that episode will in turn have more Emma flashbacks, because last time we visited Neil Cassidy, there were Emma flashbacks.
Can't let you risk everything.
Love you.
He wouldn't say, and my feeling is there won't be. He did tease, though, that the actual reveals in that episode are pretty darn surprising as far as what kind of backstory we get and on who it's about. And he did offer one more thing about the Manhattan episode, that Woody Allen is not in it.
Oh, interesting.
Little Manhattan joke
Well,
there
that
for
ends
you.
a lot of speculation. I know we've all been wondering.
Speaking of ABC
No, we
dramas.
haven't. KaDee Strickland recently paid us a visit and teased the Private Practice series finale, I believe.
Yeah, I had her right next door in my office, and here's what she had to say about the very final episode, and specifically what Charlotte Cooper fans can expect.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get the show on the road.
You are going to see us, at best, being exactly who we are. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the audience. We had a scene the last day where most of the cast were in it. Like, I'd say 99% of the cast were in it. And everyone got to say goodbye, and then we went to this big lunch. And then afterwards, and after watching the gag reel and everything else with the entire crew and their families, we had to go shoot another scene, a totally different look. But it was so classically Charlotte Cooper that I think, the last line of dialogue I got to speak to him was the most appropriate way to end this character. And I loved every minute of it. And then I tripped on set and nailed my head. And I thought, well, that's just right.
This wine is good.
Yeah?
Oh, we're back.
Yes.
Speaking of series finales, Fringe.
Yeah, we just have like 3 hours left to go. There's
can't
one
believe
on
it.
January 11th, and then there's 2 hours on the 18th. And
Did you get this cool little thing that Fox sent out, a piece of the amber?
Yeah.
So they sent out to critics, I guess they broke down the amber when they were breaking down the set and cut it up into little
Yeah.
swatches.
So now I've got a piece of
collectible.
amber, I've got a piece of the Smallville set, a piece of the One Tree Hill basketball court, and I'm going to build something out of it.
I have a piece of the Gilmore Girls set. I have a piece of the Party 5 set. I have a piece of the original Melrose Place set. And I have the original Enterprise from the first Star
In your
Trek.
backyard.
The entire set. In my backyard in Manhattan.
And segueing from Star Trek to Fringe,
Yes.
I've seen the next new episode on the 11th, and it does kind of really tee up the final 2 hours, and it lets you know what it's going to be about. There's a massive exposition dump.
Are we allowed to say dump on TV?
Yes,
Okay, continue.
in the proper
I
context.
swear I'm not drunk.
We're going to learn a lot about the observers, who they are, why some are evil, why some aren't. You're going to find out that Michael, the child observer, has a connection to someone.
Can you tell me why you're important?
Part of the episode takes place in a year that we have never visited before, so that's kind of fun. And perhaps most ominously, one of the major characters gets some very bad news about, well, they might not want to buy some green bananas. Let's put it that way.
I have no idea what that means.
It's a euphemism.
Absolutely no idea. Thank you, Matt. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
As the credits roll, we're going to continue to drink some wine, and I'm going to tell you what other swag I have. So I also own Felicity's hair that she cut off in season 2. I
wow.
have those locks. Yeah.
Does it get mangy over time, or?
I comb it every once in a while.
Not a fan of the Snapple iced tea.
What are you talking about? This is the
Oh, I'm
finest
sorry.
Sauvignon Blanc
I'm sorry, Sauvignon
in all the
Blanc.
land.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Allison Brie,
And I'm Joel McHale.
and subscribe to ENT TV.
It's just ENTV for all your entertainment news.
No, it's EENTV.
It's just ENTV, so whatever.
It's ENENTEVE. Unless it conflicts with anything, channel or company we work for. I'm Allison Brie.
Signing off.